Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. It's been over a year since I've done a video, and I'm so excited to be back. Thank you all. I have some super exciting news. There are 151 vortexes around our globe with 1 million angels in each one to bring greater love and a higher frequency to the planet and to all of us on the planet, including all life forms. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that so that you know what to do, how to use this energy, and how long it will be here. So, welcome to this, and I know that there are many of you who are not going to be able to get to a vortex, and some of them are going to be really hard to find. The one we have 3 here in the state of Washington in the USA, and I was guided to one that, thank God, had relatively easy access to it, but you do have to hike in a little bit to get to the center of the vortex. But it is amazing, amazing energy, an opportunity to open your soul codes, as well as receive this immense amount of love and support and healing and clearing that we're all doing as we're rising into this frequency. But this is affecting the Schumann resonance, which is going to be the next video. So like right now, I do have notes, so you're going to see me reading so that I don't forget what's important. Okay, so I was told about this a few months ago, but I thought they meant me to move into this area. And what they really were trying to tell me is, no, there's going to be this vortex. It took me a little while to get it. So from June 4th to August 13th, these vortexes are open, manned, or angeled by a million angels in each vortex. Going into the vortex is a huge benefit. If you are in there 3 to 4 hours, it will open up your soul codes. And I don't know at what frequency a human you have to be to have that. I think it's around a 10. But they said that everyone who walks into the vortex or projects their soul and heart into the vortex of their choice, that they will benefit from the energy and connecting your own angels to the angels that are here, and they will all help you to either open up a soul code or expand your heart energy, open up your heart and your own access to your own inner truth at a higher level. So I call it dancing with the angels, because that's what it feels like when you're in here. Number of people in my group have been numerous times and can't wait to get back. There's a lot going on the planet, as we know, with these energies shifting. So let's dive into that a little bit, okay? So the opening of the soul codes is the first one, and that is to heal the heart of mankind and to expand love around the world. And this is so that you and I can recognize this in ourselves more, so that then we can also recognize it in other people and help to bring that energy out with millions of people around the globe. Those of us who are choosing to be in this place of helping humanity into a higher frequency, into more love, and who either choose to connect to these vortexes, to allow that expansion to occur, we will be, as all of us are, vehicles of love and energy of whatever it is our soul has chosen to carry here on the planet. We will definitely be greater vehicles of love for other folks on the planet. The more, and I've talked about this in my other videos, the higher your frequency, the more love that you hold, the more that you are able to counterbalance the negativity on the planet. So in the United States, I can't even tell you how blessed, because we have 44 vortexes around the United States, in the contiguous United States. And not every state has them. Our state has 3. I don't know why some states have 0. And so just know that they are available. So as we connect to these vortexes of love and have our soul codes opened, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The idea is to bring all of our humanity more together, and for us to become like a tipping point into greater love. And we are so supported by the universe with the advent of these 151 vortexes of love that are spinning greater frequencies of love and light into the planet and into our embodiments around the globe. So this is so that all of us can be part of what they were showing me is kind of like a continuum of a chain link of human to human to human, carrying and holding more love, so that as we connect to ourselves and to one another, we are creating a bigger and bigger chain of more and more people who are wanting to connect to this love. And those of us who live in countries where human rights and civil rights are not totally all there, but more so, we have more freedom, like in the United States and in the Western countries, than some of the authoritarian countries. Our souls can go out into the open and make this announcement and be part of a greater love, where people who are in authoritarian governments are having a much harder time connecting to this energy. So it's our responsibility, I feel. Maybe you don't feel the same way, but I just feel like as I choose to become a vehicle, to keep becoming a vehicle of God's love on the planet, to bring gentleness and compassion and love and patience and greater understanding and a working together of brotherhood between us and between all of life on the planet, every tree, every blade of grass, everything, all of our food that is grown, all the animals, we're all connected, we're all one. Even though we think we're separate, we are not. All those things have souls. Every tree has a soul. All the bushes, all the flowers, they are just at different stages of evolution. So as we are awake and are human and have many, many more faculties available to us, as we embrace the love that we are and we can acknowledge it in one another, we can bring greater peace to the planet. We can actually start working together in harmony. So this is part of what it is, the reason for this happening at this time. Because of course, the dark side, the negative power, so to speak, has its own agenda for the planet. And we're just going to let them do their thing. We're going to do ours. And if we separate this third dimensional reality from this higher frequency of love and light, moving into our sacred being, our sacred selves, and connecting with that divinity within us, that's what's important, because that's what's going to connect us and separate us from that darkness. And so, as I've said in other videos, when you're watching politics, watching the news, look at it as a blip on the screen. Just be aware of what's going on. Do not be frightened by it. Do not let your consciousness be taken over by it. Keep choosing love. Keep choosing the light. Keep choosing other ways to survive. The planetary frequency of greater love is going to end up winning, because the fifth dimensional web was fully created and completed, as I've said before, on July 23rd, 2021. I'll get my dates ready. And so it's been happening for a while, and the third dimensional reality is dwindling down. Things are breaking apart so that the new can be created. Now that causes some unrest for some people, but don't go there. just know that all of us have decided on some higher divine level to be a player in the field of love and light, and choosing brotherhood for one another and for ourselves and for the air that we breathe and the trees and the land that brings us the food that we need to like clean up and not have be contaminated anymore. We need to make those choices. So, okay, let me just make sure that I've got this. Okay, so then the other part is I want to talk in the next video about the Schumann resonance. So I want to say that in the United States we have the 44. There are 4 in Hawaii, one on Oahu, 2 in Maui, and 1 in Kauai. Canada has 13 vortexes. Mexico has 4. Unfortunately, there's 0 in Oregon, 1 in California, 0 in several other states, and multiples in several states. I'm not going to give you the list because I haven't even gone there. But I did notice it was kind of interesting, and I don't know what it means. I have my own surmises on what it might mean, but I don't think I should be interpreting what the divine means by anything. So I did notice that there are no vortexes in Russia, none in China, where else? None in Saudi Arabia or the Sudan, none in Iran, and none in Iraq, none in Turkey, and there are some other countries where there are none. Too many to list. So on each continent, there's countries that have vortexes and some that don't. And I'll just tell you my theory, and I don't know if it's correct or not. I'm fidgeting here because I've been having problems with my legs, so I'm sorry. I'm letting the renewal process do its thing for the next year with my legs. But anyway, so the countries that don't have these vortexes available, when I thought about it just from my own mind, and I tried to go into my higher self, and I kind of got a yes, but it might be interesting to see what your points of view might be. And that is that in these countries where there are authoritarian governments, the heart and soul of an individual person is pushed down. And in that being pushed down, if all this love was coming, the soul would want to rise up and speak and be out in the open, and it could harm them. So until we've done more of us around the world that are connecting to these vortexes and these energies of love, then we can be part of that chain link of humans being the tipping point, connecting to these other people who may be under the rule of authoritarian governments, but maybe their hearts are not in that place. So we want to give this beautiful opportunity to everyone. And you and I are those very important nuts and bolts and screws in that circle. We're all important. We all have a vital task here to continue to hold love, to continue to hold hope, to continue to choose to see the best of what is possible for ourselves and for our planet. We're moving into a greater sacred self. And there are so many beautiful artists, mystical artists, visionary artists that are seeing this and putting it on Facebook. There are several of them. There's one, I have a picture of one actually. This beautiful woman Rosa Maria Marquez, did this beautiful picture of the expansion of love on the planet, and with all the codes that are connected. So, going back to the codes for a moment, some of us who've been coming to the vortex, I've been reading into their fields that people are able to get their soul codes opened early. So if your code, like one of mine was not to open for 6 or 8 months and it's opened, and a second one that wasn't supposed to open for a year and a half has opened. There's another one that I'm supposed to get that isn't supposed to open for 4 years, but being in this vortex, it facilitates it coming earlier, and then it takes 6 to 10 weeks after being in the vortex several times to open these soul codes and to connect with our new grid. We can move into allowing all of that energy coming into us to facilitate us being bigger energies of light, having more connection to our own higher self, to the divine, what is wanted, etc. So I just want you to know that if you choose, feel free to email me at info@oneilluminedheart. If you're someplace in the United States, I'd be happy to try to find where the closest one is to you. But I know that there's a lot of people who are very intuitive, who are probably already being drawn to these places. But if not, know that they are around. Now, the other thing is that I want to talk about is, what do you do if you can't get into a vortex? If you're too far away. So I think what I'll do is I will stop this video and we'll do that one next. And then I will also do a talk about the Schumann resonance. All right, that's all for now. Take care on this one. This is the Vortex video number 1. Take care and many blessings and thank you. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is Rajith of One Illumined Heart. Ta-da! I'm back. Bye.